Now we have already studied earlier that how information is communicated in the bodies of a multicellular organisms. Now as we have studied about the touch me not plant, okay, so definitely when we touch the touch me not plant, what happens, it will fold itself and droop, so the response is very quick. Similarly, sunflower, okay, sunflower's response to day and night is very quick, okay, because those are not related to growth. But when when it is related to growth, for suppose a seedling, okay, when it is related to growth, it is a very slow process, right? So we understand that when it is independent of growth, that is not dependent on growth, okay, it is nowhere related to growth, the response is fast. But when it is related to growth, the response is slow, right? Now here what happened in even in animal bodies, you see everything is in a very controlled manner. Even the growth is in a very controlled manner. Now have you observed your fingers and your arms? They doesn't grow in a haphazard way, right? They grow in a particular direction. And this so what happened, this all these control movements, since they are controlled, they can either be slow or they can be fast, right? If fast responses to the stimuli are to be made, then what will happen, the information transfer will also be fast. If you want to be fast, then the information also will be transferred fast. If you are slow, the information transfer will also be slow. Now for this, there is a medium of transmission. So what is that medium of transmission? That medium of transmission, the best medium of transmission is the electrical impulse, right? But this electrical impulse is not your has its own limitations, okay, it cannot be used anyway, or it cannot pass on information to anyone and anywhere at once. So there are certain limitations. We will see what are the limitations. So the first limitation is that electrical impulse will not convey the information to each and every corner of the body. It will only convey information to the areas or to the places where it is connected to the nervous tissues, right? This is the first limitation of electrical impulse, that it will only convey informations or messages to the part which is connected to the nervous tissue, right? Now next is number 2. Now in this number 2, what happens here, the second one, in the second one, it is that once the electrical impulse is generated in a cell and transmitted, the cell, it takes some time, okay, it takes some time for the for the entire arrangement, okay, and transmit the new electrical impulse, okay. So this is the second thing. It will be arrangement. The second one is arrangement. Once the information is passed, it will take some time to make the entire arrangement, and then what will happen, after that only the new transmit impulse will be passed on, right? Now we have also studied about that, how does chemical coordination in plants take place. So the chemical coordination in plants takes place with the help of plant hormone, okay, it takes place with the help of plant hormone, right? Now what is your this plant hormone? Now now this chemical coordination in plants, it occurs with the help of a fluid which is secreted in plants. This is known as plant hormone, okay, and this hormone, it is responsible for regulating the growth. It is responsible for regulating growth, right? For example, you can take, there are the plant hormone I'm talking about is auxin, okay, let me take auxin. So auxin is a plant hormone, and it is a growth promoting hormone actually, and it is produced at the tip of the stem, okay, that promotes cell elongation, right? And these are a group of compounds. Now this hormones, okay, this auxin is responsible for growth of the plant. You have another this hormone which is known as cytokinin. Cytokinin. Now this cytokinin is responsible for cell division. Okay, this cytokinin is responsible for cell division. Now how do this auxins your help in the growth of this we were talking about tendril, right? So how is this auxin helps in the growth of this tendril as a support? Now what happened, we know that we have studied that tendrils do not grow, they only climb. So what happens here, the auxin will be helping. Okay, the auxin will help, or it will supply the hormone only to the free side. Free side means that is the tendril which is away from the support. Okay, that is the plant which is away from the support. The auxin will be only supplying hormone to those areas for which reason growth happens in that free side only. Okay, but auxin doesn't provide any hormone to this tendril, right? For which reason they have to climb. There is no growth in this tendril, but they always climb. So that is the what happens, auxin promotes growth on the free side. Free side means the side which is away from any object. Okay, that side, and therefore the tendrils, they will be climbing, they will coil up in the object, and they will climb with the help of the support. Now besides this, there are other plant hormones which inhibit growth. Okay, so what is the plant hormone which inhibits growth? We have the abscisic. Abscisic is there, and we have abscisic acid, as well as you have ethylene. Now they both help in the growth of the plant, and abscisic acid plays a very important role. Okay, because during the autumn season, what happened, this they will pass the information to the leaves that it's autumn time and the dormant period. Okay, that is it is the dormant period, when it is the dormant period, and it will help in the building of leaves, right? So it is more active during the autumn period. Okay, it is more active during the autumn period. And you have here that there are other plants. This abscisic acid is also called the stress hormone. It is also called the stress hormone. Now why is it called the stress hormone? Because it is the abscisic, because it induces various responses in plants against stress condition. Okay, because it induces various information to plants about stress. Okay, it also increases the other reason is that it also increases the tolerance of plants towards various stresses. Okay, it induces the closure of the stomata during water stress. It also promotes seed dormancy and ensures seed germination during favorable conditions, right? So this is what is about your there. Besides this, you also have one more plant hormone which is also known as the gibberellins. Okay, this is also a plant hormone that helps in the growth of the plant, right? So with this we come to the end of the topic movement due to growth. So we will be starting with the subunit 7.3. Now before that, in page number 88 you have got 5 questions. So you will receive the answers tomorrow. For these questions, you need to write it down in your science classwork notebook.